Beneath the calm surface of African rivers, a small movement can trigger an attack in seconds. Crocodiles don't move much, but they always choose the right moment when prey is unsteady or separated from the group. In aquatic environments or near the riverbanks, the advantage changes rapidly, and the outcome is often decided in the moment of approach. What happens if just one slow step occurs at the wrong time? In East Africa, wildebeest migrate seasonally, closely tied to water sources and grasslands. Each year, more than 1 million individuals travel from the Serengeti in Tanzania to the Masai Mara in Kenya in search of greens. An adult can weigh up to 600 pounds. This journey forces the entire herd to cross wide, fast-flowing rivers where all movement begins to slow down. In the middle of the fast-flowing river, the crocodile lay motionless beneath the water's surface, its body almost completely submerged, maintaining its observational position. As the herd of wildebeest entered the water, their speed decreased and their formation split, some slowing down due to the strong current. When the distance was close enough, the crocodile accelerated and leaped from the water, launching a swift and decisive attack. The attack destabilized the wildebeest, forcing them to react, while the rest of the herd sped away from the area. The crocodile maintained its advantage in the water and controlled its target. After a few seconds of struggle, the hunt ended. The river gradually stabilized, and the advantage went to the species better adapted to the aquatic environment. Lions are predators with well-developed muscles, especially in their front legs, which help them hold their target. Males can control large prey by approaching quickly and using their strong jaws. They live in prides and coordinate their hunting. When approaching the water's edge, their advantage diminishes, forcing them to operate in an unfamiliar environment. In this situation, the crocodile lies submerged with most of its body underwater, observing from the front. It maintains distance, tracking the lion's movements and waiting for the opportune moment. The water current slows the lion's speed and makes it harder to maintain balance. When the distance is close enough, the crocodile accelerates briefly and approaches from behind. This approach destabilizes the lion, causing it to try to turn back towards the shore. It continues to fight, but the underwater conditions limit its ability to control the situation. The crocodile maintains its advantage and continues to apply pressure. After a few seconds, the confrontation ends with the crocodile gaining the upper hand. The outcome reflects the difference between the two environments. On land, the lion controls the situation through strength and coordination. In water, the crocodile has the advantage of position and timing, and this directly influences the outcome of the confrontation. In the freshwater rivers and swamps of Africa, hippos live near grasslands and depend on water sources. During the day, they gather in groups underwater to rest and maintain a stable position. Hippos are sensitive to intrusion, especially when young are nearby. Upon detecting unusual movement, They react immediately, often moving forward to control the distance and protect the area. In shallow water, the crocodile maintained its observational distance, and the hippo quickly realized this and advanced. The distance narrowed rapidly as the crocodile accelerated, but the hippo immediately extended its jaws and lunged, forcing its opponent to stop and face it directly. After that collision, the hippo continued to advance and maintain pressure, causing the crocodile to lose its advantage in the shallow water. As the risk increased, the crocodile retreated to deeper water, ending the confrontation without gaining the upper hand. In the grasslands of East and South Africa, Impalas live in herds and move near water sources and pastures. During the breeding season, males maintain a small territory and constantly fight to keep the females. These repeated clashes tire them out more quickly than usual. When they reach the river's edge, the entire herd often pauses for a long time to observe and assess the situation before deciding to cross. As the pack began moving underwater, the rhythm shifted and the formation became increasingly disorganized. The crocodiles maintained their positions underwater, observing this moment. One crocodile darted ahead, triggering a coordinated reaction from the entire pack. At that instant, the crocodiles accelerated briefly and lunged from underwater, targeting the prey that had just left the edge of the bank. This lunge caused the impala to lose its balance and attempt to return to shore, while the pack scattered in various directions. The crocodiles maintained their advantage in the water and controlled the situation for several seconds. The hunt ended when the prey was caught and pulled out of the shallow water. On the grasslands near water sources in Africa, buffalo live in herds and often return to familiar areas to forage and drink. Those that have been in danger remember the location and move more cautiously. When approaching the water's edge, they stop to observe, maintain distance, and then proceed, creating a slow and controlled movement. This rhythmic movement causes the herd to advance to the drinking area in a state of alert. The crocodiles lie close to the shore with their bodies submerged, observing the movement, waiting for the opportune moment. When a young buffalo approaches and breaks away from the protective circle, the crocodiles accelerate briefly and leap from the water, targeting the young buffalo. When confronted, the young buffalo loses its balance and tries to return to the herd. The adults quickly turn around, advance in unison, and close the distance to the predator. The pressure from the entire herd forces the crocodile to retreat into deeper water. The encounter ends when the young buffalo breaks free and rejoins the group, demonstrating how collective action helps maintain a balance between predator and prey. Unlike many other predators, African wild dogs hunt in packs with close coordination and a steady pace. Their hunting success rate can reach 70 to 80%. thanks to their ability to split into groups, block enemy lines, and maintain speed for extended periods. When approaching the water's edge, they remain vigilant, but the need to drink causes some individuals to move closer, creating gaps in the formation. From this open space, the crocodile maintains its position underwater and observes the pack. It waits for the opportune moment instead of moving constantly. When an individual moves forward and stops, the crocodile accelerates briefly before leaping from underwater, aiming for its target near the shoreline. The crocodile's leap causes the wild dog to lose its balance and return to shore. Others run along the waterline to approach, but underwater conditions limit their ability to assist. The encounter ends when the crocodile seizes its prey and drags it out of the shallow area, demonstrating how environmental advantage diminishes the effectiveness of pack coordination. Zebras live in herds on the African grasslands and migrate seasonally in search of pasture. In the Serengeti, they can travel hundreds of kilometers in the rain to find food and avoid dangerous areas. When approaching a river, the entire herd stops to observe their surroundings, maintain distance, and check the water flow before each individual begins to enter the water. Pack coordination. Underwater, the crocodile maintains its position and monitors the herd's movements. It waits for a change in formation rather than moving continuously. When a few zebras step down first and break away from the general rhythm, the crocodile accelerates briefly and approaches from below, targeting the zebra that has just left the bank. Upon being approached, the zebra loses its balance and attempts to return to shore, while the others leave the area. The crocodile maintains its advantage in the water and controls its prey for a few seconds. The encounter ends when the crocodile secures its prey and drags the zebra across the riverbed, demonstrating the inherent risks involved in crossing rivers during migration when accessing water sources. In the open woodlands and semi-deserts of Africa, hyenas travel long distances in search of food. They choose open areas with abundant prey and easy access to their target. Their sturdy bodies and thick skin help them withstand impacts during fights. When food is found, one hyena stands closer to maintain its position, thus creating distance from the rest. At this distance, the crocodile leaves the water's edge and moves ashore to observe. It maintains its distance and monitors the hyena's position around the food source. When the hyena approaches to inspect or get closer to the rest, the crocodile accelerates briefly and closes in from the side, forcing it to retreat. After that retreat, the hyena is no longer able to maintain its position near the food source. The crocodile takes its place and holds a stable position, causing the hyena to leave the area. The encounter ends when the crocodile secures the food source and maintains its advantage on shore. In all situations, crocodiles rely not on speed, but on position, timing, and patience to gain an advantage. Even when facing many different species, The outcome is often decided when the prey becomes unstable or leaves its familiar structure. In the natural environment, even a small change is enough to determine which side ultimately holds the advantage. On the vast savanna, a lion accelerates, charging straight ahead in what seems like a perfectly calculated attack. But as soon as the distance narrows, the prey turns defensively, using its horns, claws, or a powerful kick to halt the approach. The advantage is quickly broken. In just seconds, the hunt shifts direction as the pressure from the prey's reaction and surrounding competitors begins to put the predator at a disadvantage. Among Africa's great rivers and lakes, hippos live in shallow water where they can stand, near wide grasslands for nocturnal feeding, and in hot climates that force them to immerse themselves during the day. In the Nile or Serengeti, they often congregate in large groups, and it is this water's edge that creates a clear boundary between safety and risk. On the water's edge, a pride of lions approached a lone hippo, lowering its body and veering off course. But as the distance shortened, the hippo spun around, extended its jaws, and charged straight ahead, forcing its attackers to retreat, causing the lions to fall back while the massive animal returned to safe waters. When the boundary between land and water becomes the deciding factor, the advantage lies not in speed, but in spatial control. And this event demonstrates that simply maintaining the right position can halt an entire hunt. As the sun rises high over the East African grasslands, zebras congregate in large herds in the Serengeti and Masai Mara, where the open savanna provides seasonal grass and water sources. They move constantly in search of food and maintain safe distances. But amidst this dense migration, there are always individuals that become separated and easy targets for tracking. Far away on the riverbank, a lone lion chose the moment when the zebra pack dispersed, lowered its body, and accelerated towards a zebra that had strayed from the pack. A chase ensued. But as the distance narrowed, the zebra spun around and delivered a powerful kick backward, forcing the predator to halt and lose its rhythm. The chase was interrupted. The lion could no longer close in and gradually slowed down, while the zebra used the opening to distance itself from the danger zone. The result was clear. The predator was forced to stop the pursuit and give up. On the vast grasslands, where every movement is visible, speed isn't always the deciding factor. It's the right timing and the ability to create distance that hold the chance of survival. Along the savannas and scrublands of South Africa, Namibia, Kenya, and Tanzania, Rhinos are distributed according to species with different habits. White rhinos usually graze in open grasslands, while black rhinos hide in thick bushes. Their bodies, weighing thousands of pounds, and their hard horns always pointing forward make any approach risky. On the edge of the forest, a pride of lions approached the rhinoceros, which suddenly veered off course and accelerated. But when the gap widened, the rhino stopped, turned, and charged straight ahead with its horns pointed directly at the lions, forcing them to dodge, disrupting the hunt and causing the pride to retreat and give up. In direct confrontations, when the element of surprise is gone, strength and decisive reaction can reverse the situation, and this development shows that not every hunt can continue to the end. In the dry savannas of Africa, where tall acacia trees and clear views prevail, giraffes live to both forage and observe from afar. They avoid dense forests because they are cumbersome and cannot survive in the harsh desert. A mother nearly 18 feet tall stands beside her calf in the open space, and it is this openness that makes any danger impossible to hide, thus revealing any unusual movements. From a distance, the lions spotted their target after hours of travel. They fanned out, lowered their bodies, and approached step by step. When the distance was short enough, one lion suddenly accelerated and lunged at the fawn. But just as the pounce formed, the mother deer spun around and delivered a swift kick, forcing the attacker to stop in a split second. The lions did not press on, but began to retreat, each lion maintaining distance as they realized the danger from the accurate kicks. The mother deer remained in position, constantly shifting to shield her fawn, and the outcome became clear. The lions were forced to give up. In an environment with no hiding places, decisions are made quickly, and the outcome does not belong to the first attacker, but to the individual who knows how to maintain distance, control the situation, and react at the right moment to survive. As the sun sets over Africa's freshwater rivers and lakes, crocodiles choose shallow waters with abundant prey, especially along the Nile where animals descend to drink. They lie motionless on the banks or at the water's edge, and this very silence makes any approach unpredictable. Near the riverbank mudflats, the pride of lions spotted a crocodile basking in the sun, lowered its body, and split up to approach. When close enough, one lion lunged, but the crocodile immediately turned its head, opened its jaws wide, and sprang up to counterattack, forcing the attacker to retreat, disrupting the hunt and causing the lions to lose their opportunity and retreat when the animal safely slid into the water. Immediately after escaping into the water, controlling its position became more important than any attack. And this sequence of events shows that simply returning to its natural habitat can prevent a predator from failing. In the arid and semi-desert lands of Africa, oryxes live in sparsely forested open terrain with good visibility. They tolerate heat well, travel long distances to find water and low grass, and their long, straight horns, which can extend over 3 feet, are always pointed forward for defense. In this poorly sheltered environment, any approach comes at the cost of distance. On the open savanna, 2 lions spotted an oryx that had diverged from the pride and was approaching from the low bushes, lowering themselves to block its escape route. When close enough, they accelerated, one lunging at its shoulder. But the oryx stopped, turned its head, and thrust its horns forward, forcing the attacker to dodge, disrupting the hunt and causing both to retreat and give up. In open terrain, where speed is not enough to determine the outcome, the ability to stop at the right moment and react precisely is what maintains a safe distance, and the sequence of events just described shows that timely defense can end a hunt. In the East African savannas such as the Serengeti and Masai Mara, buffalo live in large herds near water sources, moving between tropical grasslands and semi-arid areas. Their bodies, weighing thousands of pounds, and their curved horns forming a natural shield, often maintain tight formations, and this structure makes them difficult to approach. A pride of lions crept along the dry grass, lowering their bodies and splitting up to trap a young buffalo at the edge of the herd. They maintained their distance, then suddenly accelerated, closing in. But as soon as the attack began, the adult buffalo turned around and quickly advanced, forcing the predators to slow down and retreat. The tide quickly turned as several buffaloes faced each other, advancing step by step, continuously widening the distance. The lions no longer had a chance to separate their individual targets and were forced to give up, retreating from the area while the buffalo herd maintained its formation. In open spaces, where hiding places are short, collective strength and synchronized reactions can halt a hunt, and this development demonstrates that maintaining formation at the right moment is crucial to the outcome. Straight across the vast savannas of Africa, hyenas congregate in open areas near water sources and migration routes, rarely venturing into dense forests or arid deserts. They hunt in packs and observe from a distance, often following wildebeest herds in the Serengeti, and this open environment allows for effective coordination. In the low bushes along the trail, a lioness spotted a pack of hyenas encircling her from multiple directions. She immediately rose to her feet, alert, but their overwhelming numbers prevented her from retreating. They moved continuously, applying pressure and closing in, forcing the lioness to change positions to defend herself. The tide quickly turned in favor of the majority, as many hyenas advanced together, maintaining close distances and pressing in unison. The lioness could not sustain her attack and was forced to retreat further. The outcome clearly evident as she withdrew from the area due to the coordinated efforts of the entire pack. When coordination becomes the key factor in an encounter, the advantage lies not in a single individual, but in how the group maintains pressure, and this development demonstrates how organization and movement can determine the outcome. Through each encounter, a common thread becomes clear. The lion's speed and strength do not guarantee victory when distance, formation, environment, and timing are controlled by the opponent. The key lies in survival, in the individual's ability to read the situation correctly and react precisely in those crucial seconds, not in being the first to attack. On the savannah, even a moment of hesitation or a wrong step is enough to force the predator into retreat.